Dear students, today I am going to deal with Unit 3.2 Meanings in Two Words. Unit 3.2 that is important from examination point of view, and it covers the language item, the previous events. The word previous, it means before. Something happened before, something that happened before. An event means, event means action. Event, any action. So simply it means the action that happened before. Earlier means when we talk about two actions, when we are talking about two actions, the first action goes with past perfect and the second action goes with simple past. Means we use the past perfect tense to talk about the previous action. The previous action means past perfect tense is used to express an action or an event that happened before another event. When two actions happened together, two actions happened almost at the same time or with certain gap of time, we use past perfect tense to talk about the first event, and we use simple past to express the second event. For example, let's say the patient had died before the doctor arrived. The patient had already died before the doctor arrived. Here we find two events. The patient had died, the patient had already died, that is one action, and the doctor arrived, that is another. So which action had happened first? Which action happened first? Of course, the patient had died. You see, first action, it is expressed in past perfect tense, and the second action is expressed in simple past tense. Simple past tense, you are familiar with simple past tense. Simple past tense is used to talk about an action or event that happened sometime in the past. You see, and when we talk about something that had happened even before that action which happened in the past, we use past perfect tense. Let's see another example. I say, I went to the tailor yesterday. I went to the tailor yesterday and asked for the shirt I had ordered. I went to the tailor yesterday, that is past, simple past. And I asked for the shirt I had ordered, means I had ordered the tailor for the shirt earlier, even before. Yesterday I went to the tailor, that is simple past, but I had ordered for the shirt even before yesterday, some days before. That means something had already happened. What had already happened? I had already ordered for the shirt. That's why I went to the tailor yesterday and asked for the shirt I had ordered. So कुनै एक्सन पास्टमा भयो, सिम्पल पास्ट, पास्टको भूतकालको कुनै समयमा, राइट, कुनै एक्सन भयो, कुनै काम भयो, कुनै कार्य भयो, त्यसलाई हामी सिम्पल पास्टमा एक्सप्रेस गर्छौं। तर त्यो कार्यभन्दा पहिला, त्यो कार्यभन्दा पनि अघि केही कुरा भइसकेको थियो, त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामी पास्ट पर्फेक्ट टेन्समा एक्सप्रेस गर्छौं। जस्तै you can say, I went to my village after 5 years. I went to my village after 5 years. This is simple past. 5 वर्षपछि म आफ्नो गाउँ फर्के. I went to my village after 5 years and I found a lot of changes there. I found a lot of changes there in 5 years. Now, what changes? What had happened? Now, change the त्यो भन्दा पहिले भइसकेको थियो नि, something had already happened. So what had happened? Why? What changes did you find? Well, the village had developed into a town. There had been big roads. The small houses had been changed into, the small houses had been converted into big buildings. The small shops had converted into, or had been converted into big shopping malls, shopping centers. This way you can say the trees had been destroyed, right? The trees had been cut down. Let's see another example. The thief had run away before the policeman arrived. What had happened first? Which action happened first? The thief had run away. The thief had run away, that is the first action. First that happened. After that, the policeman arrived. The thief had already escaped. The thief had already run away before the policeman arrived. You see here, the policeman arrived. This is one action. The thief had run away. That is another action. Which happened first? The thief ran away. That happened first. That's why we express that into past perfect. In past perfect, we put the sentence into past perfect. We say the thief had run away. The thief had escaped before the policeman arrived. We say. So in this way, what we find, that past perfect, the structure of past perfect is subject had plus verb 3 and object. Subject had verb 3 and object. The structure focus, the main focus of the structure of past perfect is had plus verb 3. We know that almost every sentence has subject and object. So what is to be remembered? Had plus verb 3. Sometimes we find had been plus verb 3. Had been plus verb 3, that is also past perfect, but that is in passive form. Passive form. For example, I say, when I came back home after 5 years. When I came back to my home, when I came back home after 5 years, I found a lot of changes in my house. Now, why? What had happened? Well, my parents had changed the design of the house. They had sold all the old furniture of the house. They had brought new modern furniture in the house. They had laid a new carpet on the floor, right? The doors and windows had been changed. The doors and windows had been changed, right? The house had been painted into blue color. The house had been, my house was, it was red in color, but it had been changed into, it had been painted in blue color. This is how we can express. And had plus verb 3, sometimes had been plus verb 3. When had been verb 3 comes, you don't get confused. Don't take it as another structure, sentence. It is also past perfect tense. Don't take it as another tense. Had been plus verb 3, it is also past perfect tense, but it is passive form. Yes, sentence has two forms, active and passive. Active form, subject did something, that is active form, and subject did not do something, but something happened upon subject, then it is passive form. So had been is also past perfect. Had been plus verb 3 is also past perfect, and it is in passive form. Sometimes had been only comes. Sometimes had been only. Had been also is past perfect. Yes. For example, my friend did not come to college yesterday. My friend did not come to college yesterday. Now you ask, I tell you, my friend did not come to college yesterday. Now you ask me the question, why? What had happened? Now you can say, I can tell you, well, he had been ill. अब म पेज नम्बर 22 मा इक्जाम्पलहरु दिएको छ, इक्जाम्पल कन्भर्सेसन दिएको छ। त्यो कन्भर्सेसनको इक्जाम्पल हेरेर हामीले त्यस्तै कन्भर्सेसन बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ। त्यसमा के गर्ने, ए र बी को बीचमा कन्भर्सेसन छ, वार्तालाप छ, त्यो कन्भर्सेसन जस्तै हामीले बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ। जस्तै ए ले अब केही कुरा भन्छ पास्टको बारेमा, केही कुरा कुनै घटनाको बारेमा जानकारी गराउँछ ए ले। बी ले तुरुन्त प्रश्न सोध्छ, किन, के भएको थियो, अथवा उसले के गरेको थियो, why, what had happened, or what had he done, what had she done। अनि त्यसपछि फेरि ए ले त्यसको उत्तर दिन्छ। जस्तै when I saw him 2 years later I could hardly recognize him। भनेको जब मैले उसलाई 2 वर्षपछि भेटे, देखे, मैले उसलाई चिन्नै सकिनँ, मैले उसलाई चिन्न एकदम गाह्रो भयो। मैले उसलाई 2 वर्षपछि देखेँ, 2 वर्षपछि उसलाई देख्दा मैले उसलाई चिन्नै सकिनँ। अब किन, के भएको थियो? सो व्हाट डू वी से, when I saw him 2 years later I could hardly recognize him। Now B asked the question, why, what had happened? Then A replies, A says, well, he had grown very fat। ऊ एकदम मोटो भइसकेको थियो, मोटाइसकेको थियो। He had grown very fat and he had kept a long beard। लामो दाढी पनि पालेको थियो। ऊ धेरै मोटाइसकेको थियो र उसले लामो दाढी पालेको थियो। He had grown very fat and he had also kept a long beard। ल यसलाई अब हामी नेपालीमा कसरी बुझ्ने? नेपालीमा बुझ्दाखेरि कुनै काम भइसकेको थियो, जस्तै पास्टमा कुनै, विगतमा कुनै काम भयो, त्यो भन्दा पहिले पनि कुनै काम भइसकेको थियो। जस्तै म जब विद्यालय पुगे सबै विद्यार्थीहरू आइसकेका थिए। Means when I reached school all the students had already arrived। राइट? त्यसै गरी जब म सिनेमा हल पुगे फिल्म सुरु भइसकेको थियो। Means when I reached cinema hall the film had already started। जब म अस्पताल पुगे बिरामीहरू घर गइसकेका थिए। When I reached the hospital the patients had already gone home। Means कुनै काम भइसकेको थियो, मैले भात पकाइसकेको थिएँ, उसले गृह कार्य गरिसकेको थियो, उनीहरूले सबै काम पूरा गरिसकेका थिए, एको थियो, एका थियौं, right? एको थिइस्। For example, I tell you, the police arrested a man yesterday। The police arrested a man yesterday। Now you ask me the question, why? Why did the police arrest the man? Now I can tell you, well, he had committed a number of crimes। He had committed a number of crimes means he committed the crimes before being arrested. The police arrested the man yesterday, but when he committed the crimes? Before being arrested. So the police arrested the man yesterday, that is simple past, and he had committed a number of crimes, that is past perfect. It means past perfect is past of the past. Past perfect in a sense is past of the past. Simple past and past perfect. Past perfect is grand past in a sense. Simple past, and even before the simple past something had happened, that means grand past. So in a sense you can say simple past perfect is grand past. As you say father and grandfather, likewise simple past and grand past. Past perfect is grand past. It means past of the past. past of the past. So we can say, well, he had committed a lot of crimes. He had murdered a businessman. He had robbed a bank. He had been involved in many criminal activities, a number of criminal activities. He had been involved in drug abuse, drug girls trafficking, and so on. He had been involved. And now, number 6, you see, I got a very angry letter from my bank manager last Monday. Means, मैले बैंक म्यानेजरबाट एकदम रिसाएर, बैंक म्यानेजर एकदम रिसाएर चिठी पठाए मलाई. त्यो चिठी मैले पाएँ मन्डे, सोमबार. मैले बैंक म्यानेजरले पठाएको एकदम रिस पोखेको चिठी. अब रिसाएछन्, बैंक म्यानेजर इज भेरी एङ्ग्री. सो what A says, यसले के भन्छ, I got a very angry letter from my bank manager last Monday. अब B ले के भन्छ त, why, what had you done? पक्कै पनि केही गरे होला, मैले केही गल्ती गरे होला. अनि बैंक म्यानेजर एकदम रिसाएर चिठी पठाएछन्. So what you say, why, what had you done? Now अब A ले भन्छ, well, I had not paid the installment on time and I had ignored his phone calls. के गरेको थिएँ मैले इन्स्टलमेन्ट समयमा तिरेको थिइनँ र मैले फोन कल पनि, बैंक म्यानेजरले फोन गर्दा मैले फोन पनि इग्नोर गरेको थिएँ, फोन पनि मैले बेवास्ता गरेको थिएँ, मिन्स गरेको थिएँ. सो नम्बर 6. 7. My trousers were ruined when they came out of the washing machine. मेरो ट्राउजर, मेरो प्यान्ट वासिङ मेसिनबाट निकाल्दा बर्बादै भइसकेको थियो, बर्बाद भयो. मेरो प्यान्ट मैले वासिङ मेसिनबाट जब निकाल्दा बर्बाद भयो. के भयो त, why, what had happened, then what I say, यसले के भन्छ त, well, there had been some defects with the machine. There had been some defects with the machine and my trousers had got several holes in them. हो, वाशिङ मेसिनमा केही प्रब्लम, केही समस्या भएको थियो, राइट, भएको थियो र मेरो प्यान्टमा, ट्राउजर्समा पालै पाल परिसक्यो. अब नम्बर 8 हेरौँ हामी. They came back from their holiday feeling completely refreshed. तिनीहरू छुट्टीबाट फर्केर आउँदा ताजा, एकदम ताजगी महसुस गरे. They felt refreshed means re-energized, right? नयाँ एनर्जी प्राप्त गरेको जस्तो महसुस गरे तिनीहरू छुट्टीबाट फर्केर आउँदा. Now, यसले के भन्छ त, they came back from holiday feeling completely refreshed. Now what B says, why, what had happened? अब यसले भन्छ, well, they had enjoyed the natural beauty of the village. They had enjoyed the natural beauty of the hillside and they had also spent time with their relatives. Okay, this is how we can do the unit 3.2 and it is, as I said, important from examination point of view.